Right. The darker fabric definitely looks a lot better.
We're back, Candace! We've got a lot to...
Ah, welcome back.
Sounds like everyone's friends already.
Oh, Dia's here too!
You bet. So, everything goes smoothly?
Reasonably.
Alhaitham didn't go with you?
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was investigating with you. I guess he must have gone off on his own.
Did you find out anything useful? I see. So someone used a kind of incense to lead the exiled scholars away from the village.
The resurrection of King Deshret? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. No seller would be able to make a profit here. Not to mention, making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert with the patience to make or sell something that requires that kind of effort. It seems someone from beyond the wall must have been supporting this.
Makes sense.
So what should we do then? Do we go back to the academia and search for leads there?
If it was any other day, that would be your next logical step. But today, you've got me on your team, so you get an extra tip. Didn't you say that the villager got his news from the tavern? Well, I also like to drink at the tavern, so I know a thing or two about these radicals he mentioned.
If Paimon remembers correctly, the leader of the radicals is some guy called Delavar.
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Engur, the wide-eyed butcher, and Jabari, the duck-tailed bearded crook. The whole lot of them are known around these parts. These guys have one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in King Deshret. Way they see it, King Deshret's resurrection is their only chance at overthrowing the academia. Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in the desert. Anyway, that's my guess why they've chosen to become radicals.
Tia! You're amazing! You really know this place inside and out!
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intelligence. Every mora I've spent in the tavern has been a valuable investment.
Let's head out.
Now hold on, you're staying right here, Sino.
Why?
Aru Village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. I'd bet word about you has already gotten out. The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher than on the outside of the wall. You survive on making connections out here. Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skills to speak of. But that also makes it a whole lot easier for me to gain the locals' trust. I need to go around and ask some questions, but it'll be difficult if you're with me.
Fine.
Good, then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebat with me, and we'll try our best to figure out where the mad scholars have been taken. Sino, you'll have to stay in the village and continue investigating on your own.
All right, sounds like a plan. Well, here we are
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Paimon's amazed every time we see the wall of Samiel. How can a wall this tall even exist? It's almost unreal.
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was a kid. Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sandstorms? It was only after I grew up that I realized the wall of Samiel isn't just there to keep out the sandstorms. It serves a more important purpose, keeping out people like us. Sumeru is run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but tools that can be used and discarded at their whim. We're cheap labor, like livestock, but easier to control. Nothing more. Even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. The academia believes we're underserving. Geniuses like Sataria are one in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate, even though the academia knows very well that we're humans, just as they are.
That's terrible.
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Hey, Dia. You're not thinking about doing anything scary, are you?
No, not at all. This place just gets me thinking, that's all. Besides, we're here to procure information, aren't we?
Yep, we gotta...
Shh! Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful. Our mission started the moment we arrived. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll...
Good roll. All right, maybe I'll take one more day off and knock out the rest of the work once I'm feeling up to it.
Just our luck. None of them are here today.
You mean, you don't see anyone you know?
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You here for a drink too?
Zaki. Finally, a friendly face.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land? Hello. I'm Zaki. Dia's, how would you put it? Drinking buddy?
We've had drinks together a few times. You could say we go back a ways. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they? You rarely see any Outlanders so friendly and respectful nowadays.
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side of the wall. So, Dia, are you looking for someone?
Yeah. Have you seen Enger, Delavar, or Jabari recently?
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here drinking together just a few days ago.
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar and his friends might be interested. Know where I could find him?
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that Delavar's been having a hard time making ends meet these days, so you came here to help him out?
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family. If there's more to be made, why not do it together? Besides, Delavar and his friends have muscle. They'd be a good fit for escorting the goods.
Yes, how considerate of you. Delavar's my friend too, so of course I can take you to him. Come with me.
Take it easy.
Are we there yet?
Yep, this is the place.
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Why don't you take a guess? Go on, a wild stab in the dark. You're like lambs to the slaughter.
Oh no! It's an ambush!
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru Village? The boys have kept a close eye on you from the moment you set foot there. Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar, I also know that you've teamed up with people from the Academia to look for the missing scholars.
So, you've been watching us from the very beginning?
Uh-oh. Paimon knew leaving Sino behind was a mistake!
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't you? Who do you think you are? You really thought we'd fall for your little business deal nonsense?
So you and Delavar have been partners all along.
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the loop. Those of us who hang around the tavern have stronger bonds than you think. But you got one thing right. We're all looking for—
If that's the case,
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about
Delavar. And Enger, you're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the trade.
Dia, I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand why King Deshret is greater than the Dendro Archon. Little did I know, you don't deserve to join us.
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars, all because of some baseless rumors. Anything else I'm missing out on?
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their minds. Mora. Pathetic. You're all like a pack of street rats.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying me. As long as there's a profit to be made, anyone can become my friend.
Enough talking! Get him!
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Following orders.
New busted.
Take your true form, Cryo Incarnate!
Things are about to get dicey.
Whirling snow!
Impossible!
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fight. And of course, you would believe everything he reported. The only thing, even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing. That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. That's what you thought.
You lied in the village because you figured that we'd have people watching you.
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Pathetic. Okay, that should be all of them.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aru Village?
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people while you were out investigating.
Oh, but instead of catching them right away, you let them report back.
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give it some time.
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher, scar-riddled bandit, Paimon can't remember them all.
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Edgar, the wide-eyed butcher, and Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, are the nicknames they came up with for them. Alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Edgar and Delavar are always rambling in the tavern about how King Desh...
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first. That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild...
Wow, what a...
Ah, you're too kind. It was...
So, that thing...
About...
About how mercenaries only care about Mora, and that anyone's a friend as long as there's a profit.
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other desert folk?
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion and gratitude. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people, unless they were truly compassionate.
I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in King Deshret, making the Dendro Archon out to be an enemy. It's all the academia's trickery.
But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything wrong.
Dia...
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village. This should be all of them. I'll let you take it from here.
All right. I'll be in touch. Until...
Candace, do you need any help?
Candace will be okay on her own. I trust her, so you can too. She's been guarding Aru Village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the offenders, it's her.
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time by exploring the area?
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler. As for these idiots, let's just hope they live to see another day. Right on time. We'll know any more.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well. Have you been friends for a long time?
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against others.
knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight outside the ring.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to the next.
Well, Paimon thinks you're great too.
Really? Thanks for that.
Oh, Sino's here, and he's pretty early too.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Oh, you mean you taught Candace some more persuasive methods?
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
Candace, where? Whoa, you look furious.
Do I? Huh. What gave it away?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry. I'm sure everyone present would agree.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, don't beat us anymore. We're gonna die.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The absurdity is mind-boggling. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count them as family. You come here to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones.
Mercy!
You've made your bed.
We may all be desert dwellers, but there is one thing that the people of Aru Village care little about which god is in power. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have.
We understand. I'll tell you everything.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came. Some mystery man told us that
They're called Village Keepers. Slip up again.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread the word about King Deshret's resurrection and talked us into helping him.
That's one.
Huh?
Strike.
Wait, I'm telling the truth. We don't know. He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to... You gotta believe me, please.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. That guy, he wears a cloak, and...
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu.
Smooth.
Okay.
If my suspicions are correct, this Some time ago, people from the academia, it strikes me now that this...
Which means it's highly likely that the academia they were the ones who brought them here to begin.
Not the academia again.
Just as I thought, but what could they want with the...
People are nothing but tools and... Regardless.
You're right.
Time to go.
Yes.
You got it. Can't...
All right.
Let's meet back here. Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see...
You were gone for ages! Hey, what's with this?
You never think things through before asking...
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an there's just nothing super obvious to pick.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest... Anyway, you plan...
Yep. We're not...
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up.
Alhaitham, you haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru Village.
Yeah, you're a...
While you were investigating,
Really?
To be honest, we aren't really a team. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to...
Huh? Right here?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But,
What does that mean?
how do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're... In other words, do you truly believe every single...
You mean some of...
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Remember what Gandhi said? Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily... By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concern. Glad you're following. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was conscious... The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their...
Those eyes.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated.
Right. You were.
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are King Deshret fanatics in the village.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go.
Remember? She made a point of
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru Village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
Then why would she lie?
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for why she might be so wary about all this, maybe you should ask her.
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best...
We're on it!
Miss Shawnee, as we just...
Mr. Alhaitham,
Huh?
Go ahead and talk to her. Go on. Earn her
Is it really that simple?
may I call you... hi, Traveler. Do you think the resurrection of King Deshret can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you before. I wouldn't even have the courage. Traveler, do you believe our lives will...
Yeah! We came here from another nation, but even so, we have friends in Sumeru, and we went to
My apologies for posing my questions like that.
Alhaitham told us you have your
The fact is that I'm... only one side of my... Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe...
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors.
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to blood. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything. All I want is to live my life in peace. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I didn't dare breathe a word about it to anyone. Until now.
You can tell them. I'm sure she'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told all. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint. It used to be louder and more frequent. But ever since you arrived in the village...
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, but because we're in the middle...
There's really nothing around...
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar.
Yeah! Oh, is this the place? It's in terrible shape. And monsters! Watch out!
Gotcha.
Covenant of the deed! Allow me...
Here comes the catch. My will embodied. Do your master's bidding. Embrace the ice. My apologies.
They were easier to... super strong bit. He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game, too.
This is the one. Let's go in and take a...
Hey, I hate the...
Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. Wait, he even brought a book to read? What are you reading? Let Paimon see!
Okay, sure.
Huh? The natural...
So...
Oh, Paimon gives up! You keep reading your book, see ya! How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this. Hey! Paimon's your and anyway, so Paimon... Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
there it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below.
But
Something is off about the interior here. As I thought, there's a hidden
Whoa. It's like they tucked another hospital. Oh, it looks like there are other mechanisms around here.
Game's up. Fun's over.
Clouds high. The birds call.
I'll keep this close.
Quietly now. Busted. Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey.
Wind strike.
Our bond is strong. It's all yours.
Quietly now. Here comes the catch.
Terminate!
It's all yours.
Wind strike.
Gotcha.
A reward on the road.
Quietly now. Gotcha. Busted. Game's up. Fun's over. Take it easy. Quietly now.
Propagate! Our bond is strong!
Things are about to get dicey. Busted.
Dissipate! Out of my way!
Wind strike! Time to go.
Scatter!
Quietly now.
Propagate! Stand with me!
Take my leave.
Gotcha.
Spring forth! Look! There's someone over there! Good idea! Let's approach him.
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and his eyes are also...
Didn't expect to see him.
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the
He's a scholar, too? Is he the kind that holds up in a forest and mumbles...
No. Razak was never involved in any of those things. Leaving that question aside for the moment, looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a...
Loaded?
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry. The symptoms are identical.
Huh?
Allow me to jog your memory. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh!
Correct. The Academy. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the Academia spread a false rumor of King Deshret's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aru village. These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru village leapt into action. Unbeknownst to them, of course, through rounding up the scholars, they were actually helping the Academia. As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the Academia. All the risks and responsibilities are offloaded onto King Deshret's followers. Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since King Deshret's death all those years ago. Beneath the surface, feelings of desperation are widespread. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Anyone looking to exploit that for their own ends simply needs to make a few empty promises. Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of King Deshret and look for no further explanation than differences of belief. A deep-seated mistrust of the desert and everyone in it by the rest of Sumeru will make sure of that. The notion of an Academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to work wonders under Sumeru's current circumstances.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with the village chief's theory, too. But there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the Academia that brought the scholars to Aru village in the first place? Why does it want them back now?
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. the scholars' identity. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, that is brought into question. If you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an ideal resource.
Resource? For what exactly?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge comes from people's brains?
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, it's entirely possible. Perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night when no one is watching them.
So, the human brain... Nope, nah, Paimon doesn't want to think about this.
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their projects. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind, but something went wrong in the process. Or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule for himself.
Paimon's a little confused. Can they just use anyone's brain?
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. Extracting canned knowledge is just one of the extreme measures they turn to. However, I can't help but wonder, what do they seek to gain from divine knowledge? The Academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge, but what is their ultimate goal? I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to no avail. It seems like my way of thinking is too different from theirs.
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this forbidden stuff?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in gods, so I don't share their degree of zealotry. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of academic progress...
Sounds like you're really against all this.
Of course. The Academia's actions run contrary to their rules. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, the rules and order that govern everything in the world will be destroyed. This matter needs to be corrected, just like fixing a typo in a book.
Wait! Didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy for those poor people?
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little more restrictive than that. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well. What do you plan to do about that? Save every last person?
Probably not. Paimon's not sure.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. I do what I want. The Divine Knowledge Capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake of a few strangers.
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the academia, but you're not one of them. You're their weirdo.
You're probably right. Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the odd one out. Uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only Miss Shani had a similar mindset, her life would definitely be a lot easier.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. There's nothing more to it than that. He won't last long if we leave him here. Let's take him with us. We'll work out our next step after we return to Aru Village.
We're back!
You must be tired.
What's the situation?
Who's this?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to...
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar hospital served...
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru Village, since Divine can't... Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village.
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the academy.
Huh? Are our friendship...
Looks like none of you have realized where... Sino, you're the reason why they...
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words.
It is simply a logical inference.
So what you're saying is... interesting. And here I thought you were the most...
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Ma? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before, simply put, the academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of... If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need...
The academia?
It's not that simple. The academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have every so often comes a Nyagarbaha day. On this day, I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents...
You're saying that the academia entered my information, but what's the point in doing that?
The Akasha is capable of... The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When
it predicted my...
The academia has been watching you longer than you think. However, the fact that you resign...
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to... Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the academia. Sino, don't take it to heart.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger passes.
Oh, so that's how it is! If the academia is trying to avoid Sino, then the safest place would be... Yep, that's right!
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys!
Please, wait! I want to go too.
You want to go too?
I want to find Grandpa. I promise I'll be careful.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Yay! Let's go! Remember to pat Paimon feels like we're...
Is there anything you know?
So, where do we go from here?
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand. Is that because you play here a lot? Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work. Okay. So,
These are likely fragments of an Academia-developed device. Looks like there were more than one village keeper. Let's split up and search the area.
Is this what we're searching for?
This is definitely a device.
How did it end up buried in the sand? They must have been attacked along.
Wait, what? Grandpa, I hope you're okay. Don't worry, your grandpa's gonna be fine.
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that they left fairly recently.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. Given that the device had been entirely covered by sand, I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone far.
Ugh, but running on sand is so tiring. But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too? Ugh, of course it is!
Voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of
You're one of us. We would never.
scholars. You don't know as much as I do.
I knew.
Dia? Why would you? Dia! Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? Why are you on their side?
Well, look who's here.
This complicates things.
You've betrayed Aru village?
So, this is the great General. Dear, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for yourself.
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman.
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing can deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting King.
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your years as a merc taught you—
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of King Deshret.
It's not too late yet. The village mad scholars aren't gonna bring King Deshret back—
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in life.
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the...
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon no longer shine here. With these scholars in our custody, we'll stomp the Academia's forces and...
Ridiculous. Think about it. The Academia controls the entirety of... If you still don't believe me, then try asking these two men. They're also against...
They look more like pawns of the Academia to me. Filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all honor and betrayed King Deshret.
It's impossible to communicate. Perhaps we should.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips. But I could be persuaded to take their place as your next. These scholars were exiled from the academia. I, on the other hand, am their...
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade places with the...
Precisely. Any wise person would gladly accept my offer.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars, perhaps even find out the truth.
Think you can talk me over with that confident look of yours?
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a means of joining forces against the academia.
You are the scribe. What do you have against the Academia?
Not all desert dwellers believe in King Deshret, and the same applies to the academia. Why must all knowledge seekers approve of the academia's way of doing things?
You Academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite, just like everyone else on the other side of that wall. I've made myself clear enough. I won't listen to another word from the Dendro Archon's people.
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said?
I never make empty promises.
You know you're making a dangerous decision, right?
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the Dendro Arc.
We've known each other for years.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm. Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking...
An arm from the flame? What if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promise...
Let's do it right here, then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying to negotiate!
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Raman?
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it!
Dia! Run!
Stop!
What's wrong? Can't do it?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your... You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friend.
Phew. I was really counting on him not going.
Dia! That was crazy! Have you all lost...
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm. Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with if it came down to it. You would...
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals...
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your...
Whatever it takes? You just might be...
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get moving.
You're all here so early.
Looks like we have everyone here. Isak?
I'll watch from a safe distance. Dia, I want to be there to bring Grandpa home.
Okay, let's go then.
Dia, wait.
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday. No more of that.
Fine.
Treasure. One way to draw your target out of hiding. Take it easy.
They got here before.
Uh-oh. Is it because Paimon...
Is everything ready?
Absolutely. You brought fewer people than I am.
Bring him out.
Grandpa! Why is there only...
Raman, I've always thought of you as a man of...
It's a one-for-one exchange. And let me put it this way. Agreeing to any kind of...
You stay right there!
Flame! What do you think you're doing?
Grandpa!
Don't you see this blade here?
You coward! Why are your hands shaking?
Wait a second! It's a earthquake!
Grandpa!
This day's going just...
What a news. The sand dune collapsed. I saw an energy field. The village keeper protected it. It glowed green with dendro. Just like you said. The dendro archon. The present.
Grandpa?
Hey, look around.
Did there used to be a...
It seems that when the sand dune collapsed, the symbols on the gate belonged to King Deshret's civilization. It could have been an underground palace in the...
Oh, a miracle. Praise King!
What's he doing here?
They must have fallen down here with us. Most of them seem in really bad shape.
Mind your head.
No, this isn't the time for conflict.
He's not actually...
As it happens,
What are you doing?
Don't you think it's curious? 1 minute, Lesser Lord Kusanali's power. 2 major deities are vying to showcase their power to us.
Paimon thought you weren't interested...
Indeed. In my view, gods are just... New discoveries are always worth investigating.
Raman, what are you gonna do about...
I'll just let them lay here.
It's full of life here. This defies comprehension.
Yeah! And there's so many plants. It's so pretty!
Sir Raman.
Huh? Are you mocking me?
Interpret it however you want. But there's something I'd like to draw your attention.
Whatever you say.
There's nothing to be angry.
It does seem kind of strange.
Busted.
Scatter! Stand with me!
Quietly now. Busted. Here comes the catch.
Ha! Ha! Our bond is strong!
Quietly now. Gotcha. Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey.
Germinate! Scatter! Stand with me!
Take it easy.
Busted! Dissipate! I'll settle this!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
quietly now.
That's a sight to see. King Deshret's splendor surrounds us.
There's so much vegetation here. It's different than what I expected.
Sure are a lot of plants for a desert.
That's what I call divine providence of King Deshret.
It's getting brighter! Oh, it looks so beautiful!
Wait, what's that?
A load of flowers. And it looks like there's something
These are King Desh.
They left something behind.
What does it say?
Here lies our faithful priest. His wisdom is a miracle among the people.
You can read ancient King.
Of course. Every student needs to
He's not serious.
There's still something off about this place. The scent of life.
Is this it?
Analyzing.
There seems to be a hidden message among these skeletal remains. Excellent. There's a device from King Deshret's civilization in this gravesite. I'll transmit the information over and project it for everyone to see.
Isn't sharing knowledge against the act?
Yes. However, under the circumstances, I'd prefer you to see this for yourself. You'll understand after watching it.
Civilization is born of knowledge, but so too can knowledge be its demise. A disaster caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world. King Deshret brought this forbidden knowledge into our world, and it quickly spread like a plague. People's minds were filled with crazed whispers. Dark gray scales spread across their bodies. Even the land was stripped of its vigor. Only a desperate, deathly silence remained. Were it not for greater Lord Rukkhadevata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible. She summoned the priests to build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in Aru Village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples. But now, my duty is coming to an end. As I close my eyes for the final time, the sight of that noble deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping King Deshret to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child. How strange. Now that I think of her, I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep. Children of the desert, cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
What was that?
The priest's memories.
No, impossible.
Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. So the former Dendro Arc...
But this doesn't make any...
Was that the former
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt King Deshret's technology. You've just witnessed his priest's last words.
I've never... The surviving followers of King Deshret all gathered in Aru Village. King Deshret's death. The all but total... We saw her as nothing more than a traitor. Who stabbed us in the back in our moment of crisis. Just like us humans. Fighting, feuding.
You were blinded by your prejudice.
If I hadn't seen this for myself, if I hadn't witnessed his last word, how could I ever begin to accept this? The truth is so far from what I've always known.
Raman, that's enough. Give it a rest. You're
Dia, tell me. My Eremites and I.
Hey.
I should probably go.
What's your next move gonna be?
Oh, I know what you're going to ask. But please, give me some time.
It's not gonna be...
Well, I guess that's for me to deal with.
When would be a good time for...
Tomorrow. And I'll return every last one of your your village keepers. We'll share our other resources with you, too.
You seem to finally understand that our true enemy is the sages.
Yes. The gods never gave up on anyone. It's the people responsible for all this that need to face the consequences of their actions.
That must have been rough, but he seems to have figured things out now.
Ramon's no fool. Being the leader of your own faction in the desert is no easy feat. It's too bad he was held back by his belief in King Deshret. But
the outcome, at least, is...
We should get going too. Let's head back, have a proper meal, and Sorry, no, we're leaving!
Stop yelling.
Raman, we're here.
Everything's been arranged. Someone will bring the...
I guess all I can say now.
Don't mention it. But we should...
Where are the perp...
I'll bring you to them.
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh no, it's the scribe!
There's no need to yell.
We've been all over the desert!
That's right.
General Mahamatra? No.
Whoa. The moment they said...
You should have known.
Wait, we were just following orders.
No, not Sino.
I could.
Please,
Start talking.
So, your superiors have kept you...
They,
Don't play. They extract divine can...
I don't...
Well, you better start...
You don't want to make things any more difficult for yourself, do ya?
Be my guest.
Uh-huh. That sure didn't...
How did you know?
There's no use hiding it now. Yes, you're right. The Academia is working on an important and potentially world-changing project. It may seem as if Sumeru's academics are thriving, but ever since the death of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, the withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like...
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doctor. The Doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he said those words, everyone's expression changed. He asked them.
This is what the arrogant ignorant...
First, the Academia spent a long... After that, they harvested dreams via the Sip with the Doctor's help. And the Akasha now... Next, they decided that their new god...
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge...
Call it an educated guess? The Academia has been trying... Nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. Surely, if it's knowledge no mortal can comprehend, then...
You must have noticed by now. It is as if they are cursed with a desire for omniscience, and some organisms demonstrate phototaxis, and thus orient their entire lives in respect to sources of light. This is but a form of phototaxis.
Then what does Lesser Lord... Is she not a true god present in this world?
From the beginning, when the Academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, the newborn god, they found that at the time she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. The sages never had a root, not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali's gnosis had been used to power the Akasha this entire time. Slowly but surely, people...
So...
All right, let's try to keep our cool. If everyone... Raman, give me a few men to help us
Sure.
The village keepers you found have all been returned to their homes, and each one has a dedicated caregiver to look after them.
The atmosphere... Hey! Say something! Stop spacing out!
Come on, is there nothing left to talk about?
Or,
Oh, Paimon!
Do you have any plans, traveler?
Gods above, you're not talking about...
So you were still withholding...
Even though we lived through all of this firsthand, it's...
What a whirlwind of a story. I felt like
It seems like there'll be more issues to face in the...
Still, now's a good time to make our next move.
It's time to make a...
Indeed. These events are...
so,
Crush the sages and rescue our god. That.
Well, let's...
The next time we gather here...
Yep, it'll...
Hello there.
Everyone is already waiting in—
Well, what are we waiting for?
Please. Wait, before attending the meeting,
What do you need?
promise me that you won't—
What do you think?
Okay.
Or trade anything you own.
Looking to buy some hand-made goods.
What's taking them so long?
Everyone's here so early!
We already discussed things a bit.
Hey, where have you been?
Are you ready?
Very well.
Are you sure this is gonna...
I gotta admit.
The point of discussion is to arrive at a...
You're finally done.
I have some other stuff to take. Come on, don't give me...
That's what I wanted to— Well, Traveler, Paimon, judging from your expressions, the meeting must have been quite productive.
You can tell?
I'm not that good at scheming or to be honest. Your deeds speak for—
Candace, we stayed behind...
I'm very glad to— I've said the same thing to everyone here today. Only when you're safe can the plan be— You're welcome. Good luck.
Take it easy.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I'll hate them!
Have you finished saying your goodbyes?
Yeah! Also,
Yes, she did. Our plan is not child. I hope this is clear to you.
huh?
Didn't we already do that?
You can never have enough work.
In that case, Candace can cuddle you to your... We all have our jobs to do after all. Of course. But the advantage of not... Just think about that mercenary who lost his mom.
Well,
I'm not like the rest.
this guy.
Do you remember the record we saw in the King Deshret ruins? You have a good memory. Forbidden knowledge has the I think. But the academia, come to think of it, the Withering. Elazar.
But Paimon, at least, wait a second.
Ah, you've connected the dots. The cause of Ermin's soul.
But if that's the...
Wait. Why do you think Lesser...
You mean, it's related to...
To make sure we're still on track, I would like to...
Where are we going?
To an eremite... Ah, they're here.
Huh? What are they?
I gave them some...
Ah, it's the scribe. And is that the traveler I see?
How's the work going?
Ah, yes! We have fixed the devices according to your instructions. One of them is already ready for you.
Aren't those devices for
Look here.
Huh?
What's that look on your face?
Paimon's a little scared.
Anyway, we're not going to use... As I mentioned during the meeting, this knowledge capsule contains Traveler. I want you to record... Do you believe we can save Lesser Lord Good? Now, please get...
You want us to record our conviction?
Yes.
Paimon is...
I understand, but trust me, because to achieve this impossible task, it sounds like you'll need to fool your own heart.
Paimon can see the point you're trying to make.
Imagine this. We have orchestrated our plan and successfully rescued Lesser Lord Kusanali, as everything went without a hitch. Now, open your eyes. Here.
What's this?
Read it out loud. It's done.
Is your head okay? Does anything hurt?
It's just a recording. There should be...
But what was the point of doing this?
And that's perfectly fine.
Huh?
Have you forgotten? Our plan needs to account for the... You may find it hard to believe, but for those people, imagine if you've been using a device like the Akasha since the day you were born. And after all that time... A slave to orders, and that's why rule. In addition, those who... You could say that those kinds of ambiguous zones can be very... interesting. One might even say they're advantageous in the right hands.
Things you're interested in are really out there.
Anyway, that's enough chit. I'm going to take those two to work on some small projects. You can head to Caravan.
Small project?
We're going to tinker with the...
This blinding sunlight.
I thought we agreed on a plan.
The plan is too radical and carries a...
But it's still the best plan.
I did. And that's how I saw the...
Huh? Why are you guys arguing?
My friend, you're Justin.
We agreed to work out a plan at the meeting. Had I known all Hatham would...
Look, you already know that we're all...
Mercenaries place a lot of importance on their bonds of friendship. But also will not...
Seems you really do understand.
Traveler, Paimon. Ramon's plan is to have me work with the Caravan Reebok.
Wait! How can
we... We can't get through that wall easily, remember? Caravan Rebot would... My plan will clear us of any possible suspicion. And also let us...
That also sounds like...
Doesn't Al-Haytham know how...
Of course he does. He told me. He also said that with the help of Sino and the Traveler, I never blindly trust anyone. And I've always had a good eye for people.
If I make the arrests alone, I can control myself and prevent you from getting hurt. To make the whole thing more convincing, you'll need to... I'm okay with the deaths of enemies.
I can't believe a Matra would actually care about us. I've lived a hard life, and
I've always treated my...
Now you're making this hard.
Hey, is there something we can do to... We can help fight some of the mercenaries, which should reduce the number of...
Sino, on behalf of my people, I thank you for your kindness. But this is a mission we can't... We have no fear of casualties, because we crave the...
Well, now that you've... But remember, you need to follow the plan and not do anything, since you and I both recognize the significance of this operation. There should be no more...
Okay, you...
The guards should be stationed in the courtyard nearby. You can find them there. Guards!
General Mahamatra! To what do we owe the honor?
Keep your voice down. This is a secret operation. I'm going to arrest a large criminal gang near this location.
Ah, of course, of course. Mahamatra Sino's order is the Academia's order. Just let us know what you... But who exactly are you planning to arrest, and how many people are you expecting?
They're a squad of Eremites whose number is comparable to Ain el-Ahmar in Port Or...
As many as Ain el-Ahmar?
Then I suggest that you report this to your superiors as soon as possible.
Got it. Please wait a moment. I'll contact them immediately.
Because this is work. Because I trust you.
Paimon can't believe you're still in the mood to chat. This whole thing has Paimon scared stiff. Aren't you even a little worried? What if these guards already know that you have betrayed the Academia and are no longer... Even if that guard doesn't know, their superiors might...
We discussed this,
The Caravan Rebot operation is of great importance. But don't worry.
How can you be so sure?
First, the other Matra still don't know why Sino has left, which proves that the Academia has been covering up the matter. Second, this is a crucial moment for the Academia's God creation plan. If something were to happen to the General Mahamatra, it's bound to attract a lot of unwanted attention. No matter how you look at it, they don't seem interested in sharing the news of Sino's departure.
A reasonable inference.
Which brings us to our next issue. I'm sure some of you have been wondering if the prediction function of the Akasha will affect our...
The Akasha is still in operation, so I must actually... Considering the power of the Akasha...
I've given that a lot of thought. If you remember, when you first came to Aru Village, all your actions and routes were predicted by the Akasha. It even gave that information, but things like that never...
That's true. But why?
Look at it from a different angle. Why do you think the Akasha...
Because my personal data has been entered into the Akasha.
That's true, but the key to this question is, how well haven't you ever thought about it? Just how?
Because the Akasha controls the entire...
The Academia firmly believes that all human actions can be explained through logic. By sorting and analyzing entered data, the Akasha can derive behavioral logic and predict the actions of those who... However, at the risk of sounding like an advocate for fallacies, emotions are part of our behavioral logic. But can you guarantee that... Sino, in the past, you've always worked alone. In the absence of another decisive and principled, you were used to solving problems alone. That's why the Akasha could figure you out. But now, you've joined a team. And our thoughts and logic have intermingled and weaved themselves together to become the Akasha lacks data on these interactions, and it's impossible for it to predict your actions in the future. So...
Makes sense to me.
I guess there are things that even the Akasha cannot calculate. And people will not be forever trapped.
Paimon,
Next time, pay it.
Will do.
Just remember to stay...
Footsteps!
General Mahamatra, we were not expecting your presence here. I'm the security officer of the Great...
This is my assistant, the Traveler. She will be working with me. The construct next to her...
Beep! Construct, beep!
What a great honor to meet you. Your golden hair is as bright as the...
Have you made a decision regarding the matter I mentioned to your subordinate?
It seems to be a dire situation, so of course you will have our full cooperation. To be...
There's no need for flattery.
Yes, sir.
Take your most elite platoon and follow me to the eastern side of the...
Understood.
Map.
Hurry, bring the map!
In 2 days, we will... Any questions about the...
None at all.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Maybe hanging around the General Mahamatra isn't so bad after all. Everyone's so respectful towards us.
This is all due to the... Get ready. Wait a moment.
Ah! Oh, it's you.
You're my assistant, remember? Being my assistant, you must stay with me.
It's General Mahamatra and his assistants.
We meet again.
You're here early.
It's to show how important we think the operation is. Since this is a big case for the Academia, we are prepared to...
I'm glad to hear your sense of... They are our own...
Understood.
Everyone! The Eremites are approaching!
Make preparations and be ready for combat. Halt!
Oh? What a warm welcome! Judging from those shiny weapons in your hands, it seems like you're not interested in a deal.
Rahman, the Academia has caught wind of your smuggling and illicit sales. If you value your life...
Who are you supposed to be? A Matra from...
I'm not here to talk.
Nobody's given me this much time of day. Brothers! For that slight, let's wash...
Game's up. Fun's over.
Springboard!
Twin Strider.
Propagate!
Things are about to get dicey.
It's over.
We have subdued them. The operation is now over. All Eremite mercenaries and related personnel in...
You pitiful... King Deshret will curse...
Silence!
Oh!
Restrain them and take them back to Caravan Rebat.
Yes, sir!
Mahamatra Sino, I will now take my...
Understood. You are dismissed.
There they go.
Let's talk elsewhere.
This part of the plan went real...
Yes.
That's fantastic. And that punch you gave Rahman?
Once we're done here, I'll return to Caravan Reb.
Yeah.
Go join up with her.
Speaking of which, is it...
I have a very close relationship with Tainari. Given how well we know each other, if we need help, get ready for the next phase of the plan.
It's about time. Didn't you say our part of the plan is the most important of all? And here you come rolling in. In the time it took you to get here, I already did 5 laps.
Sorry. We didn't mean to keep...
I just wanted to fix your attitude and rub it in a little. After all, you took your sweet time getting here, and we've got important stuff to take care of. I just like seeing that serious... All joking aside, I'm glad you're here. Our responsibility is to get a staff. Dealing with an institution that controls all of Sumeru is already hard enough. If the doctor were to crash the party, it would be next to impossible.
Yeah, we sure don't want him to...
Right? Hearing his name just reminds me of those stuffy old geezers in the Academia. I'd rather not have to deal with someone like that. According to the plan, we should first go to Pardis DI and ask for Forest Watch. If all hate them and Sino's sources are solid, then we can be sure that... So, we'll find Tainari, and the sages have placed spies
What?
That's certainly true, but... how much do I want? Hey, how about paying me with a smile? What do you say? I haven't seen you smiling much recently. If you ask me, come on, give me a smile so that I can... Looking good! There are many kinds of smiles, but only... Let's go.
He's over there! Let's go say hi! Tainari!
traveler, Paimon.
Hey there.
This is our friend Dia. She's an Aramite mercenary.
A mercenary? You must have some big news for me.
It's something really important. Please help us out.
All right, then follow me. This place is better. Okay. What is this important thing you want to ask me? The doctor.
He's that strange-looking Fatui Harbinger with the mask. Paimon thinks he has blue hair.
Yes, I know him. Actually, he left Paradis Di just a little while ago.
He left already?
Yeah. He came looking for me.
Can I ask what it was about? Sorry to ask you like this after having just met, but your answer is very important to us. For now, all we can share with you is that your friend Sino is working with us.
Sino, you say? I see. So that's why he hasn't been at the Academia. Okay. I'll answer your questions and will assist you any way I can. You don't have to tell me everything that's happened.
Sino's name really does work wonders. You're not even a little worried.
Despite having just met you, I can sense that you're the serious type. Between you don't need to tell me anything you don't want to. I'll also get straight to the point. The Harbinger you mentioned came to me because he wanted to take the scholar Hypatia away with him.
Hypatia? What?
And what do you mean by take away? Is he planning to leave Sumeru?
Yes. He told me his return to Snezhnaya is imminent. So you mean you're leaving this place soon?
Indeed. Otherwise, we could have perhaps talked a little more. I was just about to set out when I remembered something important. To that end, I made a final trip to Paradis Di. Let me ask, have you been taking care of a scholar by the name of Hypatia?
Your sources are accurate. No doubt because you've recruited many informants. But you're right. Hypatia has indeed been receiving treatment from me.
Forgive me for asking, but how's the treatment coming along?
Given the way you're asking, I assume you have something to say.
Since you asked, I'll be frank. I would like to take Hypatia to...
It's incredibly difficult to transfer a patient. As a scholar yourself,
Oh? I can't believe your utter lack of faith in me, to the point of even questioning my general level...
Well, you're the only one who's ever...
I have my ways of keeping her safe during the journey. In addition, I can also promise that under my care, I will personally supervise her.
Hypatia was born in Sumeru. Transporting her to Snezhnaya is risky, and the potential benefits are unknown. Your suggestion is rude and reckless. I'll pass. I don't know much about the doctor, but after talking with him, I realized that just like many other scholars, he possesses an aura of arrogance that I've come to detest. It's not so much that he's looking down on others, but more that I would never refer a patient to someone like him. I prepared myself for a protracted battle of wits.
I see. Of course, your opinion makes perfect. You're still young, but already quite stubborn. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't just let you off the hook like this. But unfortunately, I'm in a hurry today, what with Her Most Noble Majesty the Tsaritsa calling for our return. Luckily, there is still some time left. It's just as the Academia said. You're a responsible and gifted scholar. Sadly, even with all of that, you're still lacking. And that's also why people like you can never realize that sooner or later, everyone must pay the price for what they've learned.
Paimon can't help but feel like he's hinting at something unpleasant.
He asked a question, yet didn't care for my answer. Perhaps I'm nothing but a talking rock in his eyes. He never came off as malicious, but an utter lack of compassion permeated throughout our conversation. From his tone, I can sense that he's always looked down on others.
I can barely believe it myself. But if that's true, the situation will be in our...
I don't think I missed any details. Frankly speaking...
Sorry we can't tell you everything. We appreciate that you helped us anyway. I won't forget your kindness.
It's okay. I have an obligation to do so. To be perfectly honest, all of this may have started Recently, my master wrote...
Hasn't he already asked you several times before?
Yes, but there's something off about this most recent batch of letters. The handwriting and the tone are both familiar, but some details have been omitted. My master will occasionally leave a few dots on the back of the letter. One dot this has been a habit of his for many years. But I didn't find any dot...
I get it. Since you are always at Gandharvaville...
I'd like to ask you to do that for me, if you can keep yourself safe.
I can do that, but I have a feeling it won't be that simple. The Academia has been working on a big project. I'm not quite sure what it is. If the higher-ups really are... If the situation becomes critical, I'll leave.
All right, we've got a plan. I'll stay at Gandharvaville to support...
If that scenario comes to pass, you must be extra vigilant. And be wary of any messages.
I must say.
Being loyal to the Academia... On that note...
The Academia, yes. But I suppose he's lucky to...
I see. So you know...
This may well be how Sino became involved in all... Also, if you run into... I think this may be...
Okay, we'll find...
Thanks.
Right. Now, oh, by the way, which way...
That way.
Gotcha. Thanks so much. We'll be on our... According to Tainari, the doctor is leaving Sumeru soon. I want to check if the doctor was actually telling. He also said that he'll take care of everything before he leaves. What did he mean by that? We need to be... Just to be safe,
But we have no idea...
We'll do it the mercenary way. I'll find leads as we go. All you have to do is just follow me. That Harbinger may have tried to cover his trail, but he still left some traces. Or perhaps he never even thought about concealing his whereabouts. Maybe that's just how arrogant he really is. Yep, we're headed in the right direction. The traces are still fresh, but there's no sign of his entourage. Clearly they're in a hurry.
A chest full of valuables, and a trove of potential clues.
Scatter!
It's just as I thought. We can stop here. I think I know where the doctor went. To the south of here is Port Ormos.
Port Ormos? They're going...
That's right. Let's go to the port and have a look for ourselves.
Tracking skills.
Shh! Don't drop. The port is
Let's keep going.
Now this is a proper farewell ceremony for a Snezh Knight Harbinger.
The Lord Harbinger is leaving. I've still only seen him once or twice.
I used to hold a position in our homeland, and back then, the doctor spoke in a very different way from the way he speaks now. Maybe the way people talk in Sumeru has rubbed off on him? It's always like that when you spend too long away from home. When he gets back to Snezhnaya, perhaps it will also take him some time to get used to the life there again.
Huh? But, sir, that can't be right.
No, I remember it like it was yesterday. Both his expressions and tones are now very different. Also, for some reason, he seems like he's all smiles now.
You must be mistaken. Nobody's supposed to look happy when they're on a business trip.
The doctor is on that boat. So he told the truth after all. He is actually leaving Sumeru. This place will do. We can hide here while we...
Uh-oh! He saw us!
Huh? Is he...
It's time to say goodbye.
Wait, is he...
You mean...
And where are all the soldiers we saw?
They were all here just a few minutes.
So this was a trap. Wait, don't...
Luckily, there is still some time left for me to take care of everything before I leave.
Oh no. They might be after Hypatia.
Huh? What do you mean?
I'm afraid that she's seen something that she wasn't supposed to see. If...
Oh no!
Let's go!
Pardis Di is not a place you Fatui can just
I believe we've already made ourselves quite clear. Our superior...
But you've been in Sumeru for some time already.
Even the Grand Sage himself may not have the right to question. I've done my duty to inform you.
It would seem that my words have... You can keep trying to deny it, but coming...
With all due respect...
Well, you only have your Harbinger to blame. He knows I may be staying at Pardis Di. It is still my duty to protect the peace and safety of the scholars who have contributed...
Then it seems our...
No one will lay a hand on you.
Tighnari! Are you alright?
I'm fine.
These Fatui have really crossed the line. Time to teach them a lesson.
There's no use resisting! Give us Hypatia!
Keep dreaming!
Yeah, Tighnari! Beat him up! Lightning Terrified!
Here comes the catch.
The doctor's orders are absolute!
Yeah? You've been someone's lapdog for so long that you don't know anything else now!
We're not getting anywhere. Traveler, Paimon.
Got it! Hypatia's still here. Well, how is she? Oh, that's good.
So, you think this is over?
What?
I've missed that look of abject horror. You've given me that look every time we meet.
But, where is he?
I can hear all of your thoughts, you know. Don't you remember? I already saw you. I didn't need to do anything. It is her honor to be...
Who are you?
I know you must be curious. I might as well tell you that I decided to enter Hypatia's consciousness the moment I sensed... I wanted to observe you on a fool's errand.
Hey, Traveler!
My deification is nearly complete. All that's left now are just some fun... Do you understand?
Even if you manage to rescue Lesser Lord Kusanali, it will be impossible for you to defeat a bona fide god like me. Is it wise to force that child? Scholars consider the god of wisdom to be the sum total of their faith. But this also shows that humanity's worship of gods. Yes. Yeah, I'm in a good mood, which is why I'm talking to you like this. What do you mean? But you're wrong. I'm different from all of you. I was born to become a god. My entire life up until this point has just been a meaningless routine. Just think about a sheet of paper. By itself, it holds no meaning. All I had recorded down before were some painful memories. Indeed, to me, the sight of you fools in your futile struggles is far more amusing. Tell me, I'm connected to your consciousness. This is a good conversation we're having. So here's a word of advice. Let go of your misguided guardian complex. You know, it'll be for your own good, as well as everyone. Ah, you've seen She peered into my consciousness. All gods need followers. So Hypatia has been chosen. Her appearance heralds my imminent arrival at the throne of divinity, while her worship shall become my... You're doubting me again? No. Who wants to hurt my devout... The doctor wants to... How very amusing. Has anyone ever told you the doctor has never known his place? Even now, you're still too naive if you think a few words will be enough to convince me to It is an honor for you to be able to stand here and speak with me. As my listener, you will be rewarded. Both good things and bad things can be called gifts. After all, gods have never...
Paimon, that person Paimon couldn't see was the Balladeer? Where is the store? That means anyone outside is in danger! Oh! Have the Fatui retreated? Hey! What happened?
He's hurt. I'm fine. Don't move. I've seen Eremites get struck by... We were fighting, and just as things started looking grim, the weather suddenly became extremely strange. Lightning started attacking everyone, almost as if it were alive. Luckily, there were only two of us, and both of us were nimble enough to dodge most of the strikes. With that, all the Fatui soldiers were forced... It's all right. My wound aside, you look like you've seen some... Hey, didn't I tell you not... Just in case. Let's go to Hypatia's... Thank goodness, she's...
Hey, how about...
I understand my condition.
Ugh, the more you understand...
I know. They all...
Oh, he's had to...
Let me rest for a bit.
So that's what you were talking to the Balladeer about?
The Academias.
That sounds, as long as I can enjoy every day with a drink in my hand, I must be the...
Don't say that.
Don't mention it. Well, if nothing else, all this proves that the doctor really... Maybe the Fatui want to...
You said the Balladeer claimed that...
Have you noticed? The Balladeer is not happy with the doctor's actions. He thinks...
So, if the...
Based on what the Traveler has said, I think he would. Having the doctor gone benefits... In other words, we've success...
Yay! That's a big...
Thank you for the help, Tainari.
Yeah.
Okay, that wraps things up for us here. Let's continue to keep a low
All right, everyone is here.
How did everything go? Any luck with your missions?
Let's report back one by one. We've made the necessary...
I'll go next. The Traveler and I went to Party's DI.
Who is behind it?
Well, that's the tough part. What should I say, Traveler? The Fatui or the Ballad? After some back and forth, we confirmed that the doc... So, we've successfully...
Oh, Tainari also asked...
Everything also went smooth to avoid alerting the...
I can't believe you...
It's all thanks to Rama.
It appears to have been... Well, is that everything?
Huh? Wait.
Well, what...
Shouldn't you end with some...
Personally, I'd...
I'll hate them.
Oh, and if you wanted someone to... So you should find someone...
But I thought all of you...
Then I should remind you.
I know that.
The scribe is responsible for...
Fine, whatever. Well, Cyano...
Employer?
Yep. The Traveler
Yeah! Say something to boost morale!
Huh? What are you all doing here?
Oh, it's Neela!
Hey, everyone.
Not at all.
But you also look like you're...
Welcome, Nilu. Would you...
Huh? You mean...
Yes, Nilu. Are there any...
Huh? I can't believe... Oh, right. But I'll try my best for Lesser Lord Kusanali. If I can somehow use my abilities to...
Remember.
Okay. I'll get my friends at the Grand Bazaar...
Just remember not to say too much. Be discreet.
Yep, you got it.
All the preparations are done.
So, have you thought up what you'd like to say?
Yep. It's a grand plan and we're all
Well said. A good night's rest before...
Thankfully, I've had my place to...
Huh?
Oh,
Alright, let's all go home and get...
Okay.
Yep, good night.
Yeah.